All right, men, welcome to today's episode of Strong Men, Strong Marriages. How to make it hard for your wife to divorce you. So, if your wife is talking about separation or divorce, you want to make it difficult for her to do that. But some guys will go about that in a way of like scaring their wife into not doing it, which doesn't usually work very well. So, we're going to talk about how to make it difficult in the best way for your wife to divorce you. My name is Mike Frazier, MD. I'm a psychiatrist and marriage coach, and I help high achieving Christian men have more intimate marriages. So, some wins from guys in my program this week. Guys are feeling stronger. They're feeling more confident overall. This is one of the best things that happens is the guys can just go from feeling, look, if your wife's saying stuff like she's not attracted to you, she wants space, it can take a hit on your confidence. So guys are getting back into feeling that strength and confidence from within again, super powerful. Guys are getting the results they're coming for, right? Having better communication, having a better sex life with their wives. And once that goes well, what they start seeing is, man, I can use these skills everywhere. So their relationship with their kids starts getting way better. Their relationships in their business starts getting way better. It's all great stuff that happens. One gentleman went from calling an attorney, kind of him thinking about possibly divorcing his wife, to getting really excited about where they are in their marriage now and where they're going in their future in just a couple months of the program. Guys are also moving from just like a good relationship with their wife to really great in communication, love, and intimacy. So you don't have to be about to divorce to come and join the program. It actually is better if you come earlier because there's not as much to overcome that way. But so yeah, it's for you too. If you're just kind of like feeling like roommates, you want to really just see how great it can be. One of my most successful clients that really turned things around just came in with that mindset of, hey, like our marriage is good, but I wonder how great it could be. Came in just like did awesome. So, but coming back to if you're in a more serious situation where your wife is saying she wants a separation or divorce. So look, it is scary. It's really scary when you hear your wife say that. And so we get into a stress response that makes sense. So the way that we can respond to stress is usually fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Those are like the ways our nervous system can respond. So if you are trying to fight, right? You're trying to fight your wife on this idea of her separating or divorcing from you. So guys will a lot of times try to tell their wife why she's wrong. Okay, here's all the reasons why you should not divorce me. Okay, it's bad for the kids. Financially, it's going to be a mess. Kind of try to talk her into this idea that she should not divorce you because it's not smart. They'll use Bible verses. What God joined together, no man should put us under. Right? Basically, trying to guilt her into staying in the marriage. Guilt tripping her about the kids. Oh, look what this is going to do to the kids. It's going to damage them. It's going to hurt them. Or going about and just kind of being like, well, fine, right? Good luck supporting yourself. If you want to do that, great. You think you're going to be able to provide at the same level that I had, like, good luck. So all of that, it makes sense that you're acting that way. It just is not the most attractive or most effective way to go about it. So, what about flight examples? So flight examples will look like, okay, she says that, you just like walk away. You don't talk to her at all. You go walk somewhere. You withdraw physically or you withdraw emotionally. You just like that sort of thing. Just pull away. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to think about it. Freeze examples would be if you just tried to not say or do anything. So you try to do no contact, or you just try to do only business conversations. What that does is just creates mentally emotional distance. Some people say distance makes the heart grow fonder, but if she's at the point where she's saying she wants a separation or divorce, like she already wants that. So, you just kind of saying, well, fine, I'm not going to talk to you about anything, is not going to help your situation if you want to save your marriage. Finally, there's fawn. Fawn means you're just trying to like please the other person, trying to do anything you can to make them happy. So, with the hopes, oh man, maybe she'll like me if I finally like make these changes that she wants. If I, spend all this money on her, if I buy her a bunch of gifts, all of this. And really that's the mosquito cycle at play. You're doing something nice for her, but it's because you want something back. You want her to not divorce you. You want her to not separate you. It's also desperate. Desperate guys typically don't get the girl. Desperation is not a particularly attractive feeling or emotional state. So, I mean, yeah, that's why none of these work. When you're in fight or flight, you're in an anxious state, and anxiety is not particularly attractive to most women and most people. You're fearful, not particularly attractive. You're trying to control her decisions. You're being manipulative. So all of that makes you not the best choice, right? So if you're saying, "Well, I'm going to make it hard on her divorce," you mean I'm going to like put you through hell if you try to divorce me, basically scare her into staying. That's not going to work very well. Just it's not attractive. Okay. So again, like if you're saying stuff like, if you divorce me, I'm going to put you through hell. I'm going to poison the kids against you. I'm going to ruin you financially. I'm going to ruin your reputation. Scaring her into staying, does it make it harder for her? Does it scare her into staying? Maybe. Like maybe she'll stay with you for a little while, but she'll always be wanting to get out. And is that the kind of relationship you want? Probably not. It's not the one she wants either. And really, it just confirms her decision. It's like, yeah, this is exactly why I don't want to be with you. You act like this. You're controlling. You're manipulative. You're threatening me. I'm out. Right? I don't want anything to do with this. Again, like maybe she'll stay for a little while because she's scared, but probably not. Especially if she's already saying she wants to divorce or separate. This is just going to give her more proof that she should, in fact, leave. So, what do you need to do instead? That's all things not to do. What you need to do instead is just focus on being a great choice. A big problem with all of those is they're trying to change her, which you can't. So it drives you crazy. A lot of guys come to me and they ask, "What do I need to do to get my wife back? What do I need to do to get my wife back?" I will tell them, look, like if that's your goal, it's not going to work because you're manipulative and you're trying to solve for something you can't solve. Instead, let's focus on being a great choice. Just so happens when you do that, it gives you the best shot of winning your wife back, right? So focus on that. You can't control her decision, but you can control if you're a great choice. You can't make her choose you, but you can control if you're a great choice. And then just use every single interaction you have with her as an opportunity to show that you are a great choice. So even if you're not communicating that much, a little text message here and there, it matters how you respond or don't respond, when you see each other in the house, right? If you're separated in the house, the way you act there matters. Okay. When you're meeting with an attorney and her, okay, it matters how you're acting. Use every interaction. Look at it that way. This is an opportunity to show that I am a good choice. Whether she chooses me or not, I'm a good choice. Prove it to yourself, right? You prove you're not a dictator, right? Trying to tell her what to do, trying to guilt her, manipulate her, which is fight. You're not this absentee person that's not going to be there for her, which is flight. You're not this kind of like deer in the headlights, frozen person, which isn't particularly attractive. And you're not this desperate suck up, which again, like watch any romantic comedies, the guy that's like that, "Oh, I love you, I worship you," doesn't get the girl. So what you need to do instead is you're like, be the guy that is the strong, attractive man who's in control of his thoughts and emotions. Because what happens when your wife says she wants a separation or divorce is, yeah, all this stuff kicks up, all these emotions kick up. It's normal, it's understandable. If you can't manage it, you start doing all the things I'm describing here: scare her into staying, freak out, freeze, try to do everything she wants. Guys get really paranoid. Maybe she's got somebody else out there. And yeah, just like all those thoughts and emotions are running, making them not a good choice. You want to be a guy who owns his mistakes, apologizes in the right way. A lot of guys will apologize the wrong way, and then fixes them. There's a podcast on that, on apologizing, if you want to go back and find that. And in the program, we talk a lot about that. But yeah, that's just being a man of integrity. That's strong. A guy who gets his worth from God instead of from his wife. A lot of times we're so dependent on our wife's opinion. Some guys I've talked to will even kind of stop doing much with their faith because their wife maybe didn't like it or didn't like the church they went to or something, which isn't great because that kind of separates you from getting your worth from God, and it also separates you from your integrity. So while it seems like you're doing something nice for your wife or something she wants, ends up backfiring. So you want to be a guy who wants and chooses his wife. Yeah, like she wants to know that you value her, you think she's amazing, but doesn't need her to feel valuable, doesn't need her to feel worthy, doesn't need her to feel worthwhile. He gets that from God. Okay. You need to be a guy who's able to feel sad, feel afraid. Yeah, I am scared that you're going to leave. Yeah, I am sad that that might happen. Um, but then not act in these crazy ways, like these unattractive ways, trying to, again, like scare her into it or freeze her or flee or try to do everything she wants, go mosquito mode, right? Instead of that, you're like, yeah, this is scary. And I can take some press and kind of manage that and get some help from, I'm pitching my program because I think it's the best one, but get some help to really manage these thoughts and emotions. You need, and then so that's all internal management, right? But then you need to also add to that communication skills. You need to be able to listen really well, express yourself well, ask for things you want, get to win-wins, which kind of requires all these other things first, managing your thoughts and emotions. Because when you go into tough conversations, if you can't manage your thoughts and emotions well, they tend to not go very well. You need to be able to ask for what you want, which requires self-worth. You need to set boundaries, which requires self-worth. Okay. So sometimes a wife will want to separate or divorce, and she's like with another guy, and the guy like won't set a boundary to say, hey, like I am not okay with that. Um, Instead, I'll just be like, no, no, please come back. And yeah, I don't really like you're with that guy, but just choose me anyway. I'll keep paying for everything. That's not. Our other coach Mimi, calls that scrambling for crumbs. And a guy that scrambles for crumbs from his wife, again, isn't very attractive. So you need to have boundaries, but that requires self-worth. It requires you being able to manage your thoughts and emotions. It requires you to be able to ask what you want, know what you want, set boundaries, all of that. And then finally, a guy who's in integrity with his sexuality, right? That's not running to pornography all the time because his wife isn't having sex with him as much as he wants. Um, that kind of thing, right? So the guy that is that, okay, a guy who's spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and sexually strong, first of all, you just feel amazing. You feel way better because you have these tools, you have these skills, you're in a great spot. Okay. Just so happens that when you are that great choice, you're way more attracted to your wife. And then you add to that those communication and intimacy skills. Man, like you are the type of man that any great woman would want. You just are. You are one of the few, you're in that 1% for sure. If you have those internal skills and then those communication intimacy skills on top of it, you're a great choice. So you win no matter what because you're a great choice. You're a good example to your kids. Even if your wife doesn't end up choosing you, you're a great choice. You can manage a relationship with your ex-wife well. You're going to set a great example to your kids. And if you choose to in the future, you can date another great woman and have a great marriage in the future. It's happened with some of my clients as well. Some of them save their marriage. Some of them go on to have great marriages with somebody else. It happens. So overall, you feel solid instead of anxious. That's what happens, right? And that feels way better, and it's way more attractive to feel solid and steady than anxious and manipulative and fighting, flighting, freezing, fawning, all that. So what skills do you need? Again, mental and emotional management is the key one to start with because it's normal to freak out if your wife says she wants a separation or divorce and to act and to do all these things. But it just is not effective. It's not attractive. It doesn't feel good, right? So we need to manage those thoughts and emotions as well. Next, we need spiritual strength, which is self-worth. Again, like if your self-worth is tied up in what your wife thinks of you, you got a problem, or what other people think of you, all of that. Self-confidence, which comes from being a man of your word, sticking with it, integrity, right? That's what women want, trustworthiness more than anything else. And then self-esteem, the way you talk to yourself. Because it's easy to talk, man, like, because if you start owning your mistakes, you can say, oh man, I'm such a loser. How'd I do all that? But self-esteem is just talking to yourself in a more kind way. Yeah, I made mistakes. I'm learning from them. Then you're not beating yourself up. Because if you beat yourself up too much, you need other people to build you up because you're tearing yourself down all the time. Then you add communication skills, again, expressing yourself, listening well, getting to win-wins. Then the intimacy skills to bring fun, flirting, passion back to the marriage. So we'll teach you all this. Come join us in Strong Men, Strong Marriages. We're teaching guys every day how to do this. They're having great success in their marriages, and we want you to be a part of that with us. We're building more of a community this year in 2024. We want it to feel more like a group of guys who are together in this work together. So yeah, trying to get as many guys as we can to join us in this as many guys as we can that are committed to doing the process, right, and working together, not whining and complaining, but coming and owning and deciding, yeah, I'm going to be a strong man for me, whether my wife chooses me or not. Turns out that when you do that, most of the time she does. If she's already about to divorce you, your chances are lower for sure than if you come in when you're not talking about divorce or she hasn't filed for divorce. But even in those cases, we still turn it around. So again, come join us at Strong Men, Strong Marriages. Visit strongmen.io or the link in the show notes to apply now. If you're not quite ready to apply, come join our email list there at the same link, strongmen.io, and email a question in or reach out to me on LinkedIn. We'd love to connect that way as well. So again, strongmen.io. Stay strong, men, and we will see you next episode.